Hi guys, Dance Fans here again. What we used to have to do is to line up. They would make us line up outside for a flag ceremony. If it's a Monday, we all have to go to the Parnymphus and line up there. Or like if there's a special occasion, there's a flagpole. The Philippine flag will go up while you sing the national anthem. So if it's just a normal day, we just line up outside the classroom according to height. And you know what? I have never been the shortest. Just saying, yeah. I was always the third. the third shortest. Here in the UK, I noticed, you know what my daughter does? She makes her skirt shorter, and that seems to be what it's common here. But for me, when I was growing up in the Philippines, yeah, this is our uniform. And for us, the longer it is, the better. It is like you have this much space between your socks and the hem of your skirt, and that's cool. I am being serious. That is for us. It's like the longer your skirt is the cooler it is, you know. It has to be the skirt texture needs to be the soft one, you know, so that it goes with the flow. Oh my goodness. We make these little creases on our socks. And then the more of those creases, it's like the cooler you are. It was really cool to have a JanSport bag. I was never one of the people who can afford that, you know. I was always the one who cannot afford stuff. I struggled going out. My mom really did a lot of work trying to put me through school. They had a photocopy business, and you know what? This photocopy business is what put me through my whole education, and I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of this photocopy business, and my stepdad and his new partner are still doing this photocopy business until now. Lolo Jeff!
Oh.
Ay, ibigay ko sa iyo yung I remembered even some books I cannot afford. The nursing books that are really thick. I remembered it. It's the Medical Surgical Nursing book. 2 volumes. And we couldn't afford it. And because we couldn't afford it, it's probably considered copyright. But to be able to read the book that I need, my mom and my stepdad, they just photocopied the whole book. You know, I just borrow books from my classmates, and some of the books I don't even get to own. Just read from, like, if I'm in school and then my classmate has the book there, then I will borrow their book from them. 136. These are on my eBay. Or listen to what the teacher is saying and learn that way. The important books my mom would buy, but she can only afford a few of them. I used that book to get through nursing. I used that book to pass my board exam. And it's not even a book, it's just a photocopy. But, you know, I'm proud of that. I'm proud to have gone through that. I managed to pass my board exams, you know, with barely nothing. Public school in Philippines is very different from a public school in like a first world country. There's not much funding for it, so the resources are very limited. So most people in the Philippines who are in the working class, they would put their kids through private school. That's normal. And for my mom, education is very important. She wants to spend on it. That's her main priority, like to put us in good schools, because for her, education is the most important thing. A lot of the money goes into education, And, well, sometimes we can't afford the books that come with it. And then I can't afford the bags. We buy really cheap shoes, like school shoes, that I remembered it would break like really quickly because I'm so hyperactive. I've always been hyperactive. And I damaged my shoes really quickly for some reason. It always the right foot. The Velcro is coming off. And we can't afford to buy a new one right away. Like, we'll have to wait for next year before we're gonna buy a new one. So I was the kid who had safety pin on her shoes. And I remember my classmates would tell me, get a new one. But, you know, I'm like, well, I can't afford to buy a new one, you know, so I have to just settle for this safety pin on the Velcro. My friends are really cool because even though some of them are so much wealthier, they never really made me feel like I had any less. I had a really good friendship group when I was growing up, and I'm really thankful for that. I had a really good school life because I felt accepted. Sometimes you watch on films how, when you don't have as much money, you get looked down on and then they treat you different and then they're mean to you. But I never had that experience. They all knew I didn't have as much money and they all saw my shoes that's almost coming off. And even when we go out, sometimes some of them can afford to go out for lunch every day. And they have allowance for that. I don't have that. I only have, I think, 20 pesos or something. If I want to go out on the weekend, I have to save that money. They know when they're going to ask, let's go somewhere. And I'll be like, well, I don't have money, you know, I can't afford that. And some of them, they will pay for me. I kind of feel embarrassed. But part of me wants to go with them, you know, and hang out with them. And it seems like they want to hang out with me as well. And maybe that's why they offer to pay, or maybe they feel bad for me. I don't know. But it seems like the feeling is mutual, like we don't want to separate from each other and want to carry on spending time with each other. And so swallow your pride. That was my experience. It was good that they never teased me about it. It made you feel like you're part of the group, you know, and I have a lot of friendship groups during that time. I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. I'm a ninja without a name. Don't fall in love.